Now give me a second, I need to quickly get my keyboard prepped.
Sure.
Chief, turn on the ground power. Copy. Chief, connect ground air supply. Ground power is now on. Copy. Ground air supply is now connected.
Okay, got the data link. We are on Stennis, correct?
Yep.
CVN 74, yeah.
So RIO, besides from comms, your job is also to kind of monitor the approach and help your pilot with speed callouts and altitude callouts and where he should be, stuff like that. That's usually pretty helpful.
Understood.
And also making snarky remarks. It's very important.
I'll stay with the snarky remarks until I'm slightly more used to it.
Correct, and also tell your pilot is. It is very important, however, you can wait a bit.
Just to confirm, do I have to input heading of the carrier as well, or only its speed?
So that's only for a ground, or sorry, for a manual set. So you don't have to set either of those if you're doing a data link line.
Just wanted to confirm, thank you very much.
ICS comm check.
Loud and clear.
By the way, the call sign for the carrier when you go to taxi, we really only use the 72 and the 74. The 72 is Union and the 74 is Courage. So just say Courage checkbox.
Courage, I've never even heard that myself. Yeah.
That's what they call her.
Nice. That's a badass call sign. Usually in DCS, people call the 72 the Roosevelt or the Abraham, and the Stennis is usually just called the Stennis.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people call it the Abe.
Yeah, the Abe too, that's the abbreviation. I'll do deck boss comms for you if you guys want some familiarization with it.
Am I good to start the engines?
You please do.
Sure, you gotta contact me first. Otherwise I won't know you're there.
Right. Give me a second, I'm trying to quickly find whether I'm heard well with ICS. Sorry, not ICS. Intercom.
That's your ICS.
Yep, I got you.
Thank you. Okay, then we quickly check our tail. Closing the canopy. It will be a little calmer here. And a technical question, as it might sound a bit stupid, but how do I check the tail number if I forgot to check it?
Your tail number, the one you set, is in the in the rearm menu.
Yep. So if you just hit left alt apostrophe, it'll tell you on your board number. Your tail number is 118.
Thank you.
I can't have you squawk something, can I, Marlo?
Like change my transponder?
Yes.
No.
Okay. I'll have them do it then, because apparently SRS can detect that.
I didn't even know you could do that in DCS.
Oh yeah, you can. In the backseat, the IFF panel always has a transponder on it. So.
Wait, I could squawk as hijacked? Hold on.
Yeah, what is hijacked? Is that 7600?
I thought it was 6500, but
It might be 6500. I don't know. I only know 7700.
it is 7500. You're right.
No, I said 76, so I'm not right.
Oh, it's 75.
But Roger.
7500. I knew there was a 5 in there.
Yeah, 7600 I think is Nordo.
Okay, we're aligned.
Okay. So first you do a radio check whenever. You should technically request startup, but no one gives a shit. So don't worry about it. But when you guys are ready to taxi, contact me.
Okay, just to confirm, you didn't hear me, right?
1-1, it's radio check.
You talking to me or pilot?
FYI, carrier comms should be used on 227.5.
I actually wasn't doing SRS, so thank you. I'm not actually connected, I am.
Okay, thank you very much. Had to swap it. So let me reconfirm it.
1-8 radio check.
Give me a second, because I just realized for some reason I got into wrong channel.
You may have to switch to manual on your radio, but generally it'll be a preset, so it's probably like preset 5 or something.
It should be preset 2 in theory.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Make sure you're looking at the right radio too. You also get the presets for your pilot. So you have the ARC 182. He has the 159.
Yeah, 182, correct?
ARC 182. Yeah, that's your radio.
You know what? Let me quickly do one thing that luckily I can do right now. I might be missing something, but let me quickly do a small trick and... Whoa. I think that should take care of diagnostics. Okay, I believe my screen is now visible. It should match what I see. As you can see, here we have channel
Oh, yeah,
02.
that's ARC 159. It says there
right.
at the top. So next page on your kneeboard.
Give me a second, I have to refocus it. Okay, here we go.
Sure.
Okay, I'm basically an idiot, never mind.
Chief,
You're fine.
disconnect ground air
Yep.
supply.
Okay.
That'd be...
Copy.
So it is not a preset, but so do you want me to tell you how to set a preset so you don't have to worry about it?
Not really, thank you. I think I will take care of it later on. But give me a second, then I have to swap it to manual.
Chief, turn off
And let me
ground power.
quickly recheck the 227.
Copy. Ground power is now off.
Okay, I guess I should have volume set. TR, okay, let's recheck.
118 radio check.
For crying out loud, I see what's the problem. That was actually an SRS error, my bad.
You're fine.
Because this is radio 2, apparently.
Yeah, it is. Even though it's the better radio of the two, it's in the backseat, so it's 2.
Well, let's try it again.
118 radio check. Lima Charlie, 275.
Yeah, I didn't hear it loud enough, but I must admit, so let's see if I can boost it up.
I believe that's just your speaker volume. I'm not sure actually. Let me check.
Could be your SRS. There's a decimal booster in SRS. If you don't turn it up enough, then you won't be able to hear. Mine's currently at 8 decibels, but you might
I assume
have
it is this one.
I assume this is this one, correct?
Yeah, that's for your speaker, so that's if you can hear it. It doesn't make yourself louder.
Yeah, that's just
Okay.
Okay.
You can hear me louder.
Yes, thank you very much.
Assume that was very loud.
It was, thank you very much. Okay, I guess let me quickly do a quick check. Okay, I guess we're done here.
118 requesting taxi. Ready to taxi. wheel chocks. Copy. Wheel chocks are now removed.
I guess I need to play a bit with the loudness.
Very interesting how Arco 2-1 doesn't show up on the radio comm at all.
Are they a basket or a boom? I think they're a boom. That's probably why.
Basket.
They're a
It's
basket.
an S3.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's stupid. I can contact the other basket S3, but I can't contact the one over the 74.
They were having some issues with the.
I know that.
With
But
the
why
fingers.
does one work and not the other?
I don't know. I blame Mark. Make sure to blame Mark.
Blame my guns. Oh, they are invulnerable. That's cool.
Yep.
I assume we'll be getting out of the carrier range and then returning, correct?
I'll probably have you fly out to like 30 miles. You don't need to be all the way to 50, but yeah, you'll be getting the gist of it.
Would be nice if you did burn some fuel off, but
Are they at max fuel?
well, they spawn at that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just so you guys know, the maximum landing weight is 10,000 pounds. So that's going to be your fuel state, and there's something in your knee board as well to do calculations. But yeah.
How'd you get that cockpit?
I believe it was a mod, basically.
Yeah, right. It's not,
You might actually want to
I
send
like
me to that, because a lot of students have trouble with reading stuff. And
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll
Does it
find
work
it.
for does it work for the front seat?
We'll find it and we'll link it to you. I'm using it because I'm in VR and I couldn't read shit.
Yeah,
Yep.
they went a little
You can't read shit
hard on
anyway.
the.
On the wear. Yeah, they just took pictures of the actual F-14. It's an old F-14. That's
There's
super
the
run
salute.
down, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll get that from you later after the class.
Okay.
Tower, 118.
So,
I think that's according to the kneeboard.
what is?
Wheels up.
This is TBM power. Fly a case 1 departure. Depart at radial 040.
Radar 040, departure, case 1. 118.
I think the order was off. First should be 118, then the rest, correct?
Didn't I say 118? This is tower?
No, he's talking about what he called out, and you're not SRS, so you're not hearing him.
Ah, yes. I assumed we were doing stuff here. Forgot about SRS.
Want me
But
to
yeah,
keep
the order is
both running?
correct there because you guys didn't contact deck boss. So
Get in my back seat and use my comms data.
I can do that. I'm on SRS, but I'm not hearing anything. So Yeah, it's not connected technically. Weird. Even though it said it was connected.
Stannis, Marshall, 118, marking models, 63.1 miles, heading 82. Field states 13.6.
Our order, I see. First bearing, then range, then altitude.
So,
Forgot
the,
altitude.
I also have you at 067. I'm guessing you were estimating, which is fine.
Well, it was 260, basically minus 180, right?
It's 247 minus 180 is what I have, but whatever, that's fine. Your compass might be a little off.
A lot off.
118, this is Marshall, Roger. Radar contact. Weather is overcast skies with base at 2,000 feet. Expect case 1 recovery. ERC 11 tree. Altimeter 29er tree. Report CBS. 203 Mother, you attend. 203, Roger, contact tower, same frequency. Establish at Angels 2. 203.
So, 118, I am waiting on your readback for the Marshall. Let me know if you need me to say it again.
118, Stannis, Marshall, 118, please repeat.
118, this is Marshall, Roger. Radar contact at 46 miles. Expected case 1 recovery in effect with a cloud base at 3,360 feet, overcast skies. Altimeter 29er tree. Marshall at other overhead at Angels 3. How copy?
Stannis, Marshall, 118, case 1 recovery, Angel 3, Marshall at Angel 3.
118, feedback correct. Report CBS.
Beautiful.
Tower 203, overhead Angels 2, state 10.1.
Okay. Do you guys see the boat by any chance?
Tally.
Okay. So, at this point, you would want to make your CU at 10 call because you guys are within 10 miles and you see the boat.
Okay.
Stannis, Marshall, 118, see you at 10.
118, this is Marshall, Roger. Establish at 3,000. Contact tower, same frequency.
118, establishing at 3,000.
I'm gonna do one more loop here, and then I'll call my commence.
Roger. So just a reminder to you guys, make sure you're at 3,000 before you get in within 10 miles, just so that there's no collision risk at all. You guys are good to descend to 3,000 right now, though.
Understood.
Stanford Tower, 118, overhead Angels 3, stage 9.8.
118 Tower, roger.
Yep. And you guys are just gonna keep flying that pattern. Let's see. You guys are a little close to the boat, but I'll let you guys get actually established in your pattern. Just reminder of, it's a 5-mile diameter. It's not too important that you get the 5-mile part. Just the altitude and the speeds they're really important things. Especially the altitude, but the speed is nice for fuel conservation if you're ever getting low. So, if you guys heard, Marlowe made his commencing call, so he is officially in the pattern. You can see right now he's at 800, just slightly higher than 800 feet. So he's about where he wants to be on altitude, and he's circling behind the boat to start with his overhead.
Yeah, there's 4 positions in that radial you guys are holding, and position 1 is when you're directly on the starboard side of the boat, and you're gonna start your pattern to the left. Position 2 is that north top of that circle. Position 3 is that west side, the port side of the boat, and the apex. At that position 3 at the apex, you will, when you commence at 2,000, you will hold level at position 3, and then you will descend down to 800 as you take I think it's about a 30-degree turn to the right, and you go out away from the boat. You get down to 800. Once you get down to about 800 at 1,500 feet per minute descent, then you just go ahead and make your left turn back towards the boat, and you should be at about 8 miles when you get back rolled out behind the boat. It doesn't have to be a perfect science, however, it's a good margin.
That was me, RIO, making the call.
Marshall, contact paddles and
203.
So now we're at 800 feet, we're at 330 knots, which is a little fast. We should still be at 250, but that's okay.
Usually we break at 300 or 350 in the Tomcat and the Hornet.
You might be right. But we're over the deck, we're checking to make sure it's clear, and it is. So now we're flying out 1 mile, and he's gonna start his brake.
Tower 203 in the brake.
paddle.
So now he's turning, he's maintaining 800 feet. He's at 190 knots because he's at idle, and it's probably at idle. And he's doing this turn. So that does slow him down a lot. And at this point now he's going to start getting configured. He has his hook down, he's getting his gears down. And now he's in the downwind, which means that he's heading the opposite direction of the boat. The boat should be heading into the wind. As RIO right now, I'm verifying that all of his stuff is good. I see he's a little slow. He's at 145 right now, so I would let him know that.
That's 203 FB. So
Fuck,
you said fly out about a mile away after I see the back of the boat. I'm gonna do what I learned in my MILSIM group and turn now.
Okay.
Just so we know that I'm not doing it exactly how the procedure was laid out in the brief.
Yep.
Understood.
When you, as I've heard through a lot of training with guys who've actually studied ATOPS, they usually want to roll out on their turn when they're a beam. You usually want to be 3/4 of a mile to a mile behind the boat when you roll out.
Yeah. That's like the optimal distance you get a good guide zone.
Yeah, I'm actually a little far.
Tomcat in the cruise deck, clear protocol, wind is 5 knots.
203 Tomcat Paul, steady point 3.
203, right for the lineup, a little bit of power. Settle with the power. Your approach to the center. On the center. On the center, on the level. Cut.
Okay, I actually can't see your wire because you're missing 2 gears on my screen. That's
3-wire.
3-wire, wonderful. Yeah, that looked like a 3-wire. That was a really good approach. So, you guys heard there, he was a little bit to the left, so I said right for the lineup. He needs to get a bit right. He did that immediately, really well. And he was a little low when he got in, so I said a little bit of power. I said settle with the power, which means that he's approaching that area, so I wanted him to ease up, which he did. And he was sitting like a little bit above the middle of my screen, which is where you want a Tomcat on this thing. So that was a great approach.
118, this is Marshall. Descend to 2,000 feet.
Dennis, Marshall, descending. 118, descending 2,000 feet.
So remember, only descend on the back side of the boat.
So not yet now. Just a reminder, we should not descend for now.
Yeah, right when you're a beam with the boat, so basically when you're on the port side of the boat and you're a beam with it, that's when you'll start descending. Right now, you guys, if you look left, the boat's on your left. You are in position 1 of the stack pattern. As you get out to the front of the boat, you should start your left turn somewhere around here, about a 30-degree angle of bank.
Since you're going 280 knots, should be at about 2.8 Gs.
I believe we are still expected to hold the pattern, correct?
Yep. So yeah, you guys are still expected to hold that at 2,000.
Right. So don't actually descend, but I'm going to tell you. Right now you're at about position 2, you're passing position 2, and you're going to position 3. Right now you're on the top, or the front of the boat, which means this is the ascending point of the boat. You can only ascend here. You do not want to be descending at any point in this part of the pattern.
If I may say so, excuse me, pilot, we should get a bit up, as we are way below 2,000.
And you guys did descend on the front part of the boat, which is fine. We're learning, but
yeah,
just so you guys know,
time.
back side of the boat.
So right now where you are in the pattern, you're on the position 3 and you're passing it. This is where you're allowed to descend. You're officially behind the boat. So it's split into 2 halves in the circle. So from positions 1, 2, and 3, you can descend. From positions 3, 4, and 1, you can, positions 1, 2, and 3, you can ascend, never descend. Positions 3, 4, and 1, you can descend.
And we'll go over again anything that you guys are confused about afterwards.
And Dodger...
118, tower, you are clear to commence. Signal is
Standard tower, 118, commencing. State 8.6.
So, a little note there. You're not commencing yet. You'll make your commencing call You don't have to correct it, but
Sorry about
you'll
that.
make your commencing call when you're at position 3 on the port side of the boat and you're beam. You make your commencing call when you're ready to start your descent. As soon as you make your commencing call, that's when you should be starting your descent.
Understood.
Turn away from the boat and getting
So-
wings back.
So yeah, right now you
Never
guys
mind that.
continue flying the Marshall pattern until you're beam on the left port side of the boat. So
Understood.
Stay at 2,000 right now.
We should stay at.
And then at that point you'll call commencing, and then you'll go for that long final pattern I told you about, and then you'll do your overhead brake and come in for a landing.
Okay, sorry for that. I think we're a bit too close to the carrier, aren't we?
You guys are coming in off the starboard side, so you guys are fine. This is normal for Marshall pattern as you kind of pass over the boat on the starboard side, and then you'll go the 5 miles out on the port side. So you guys are fine.
Okay, just confirming.
Yep.
Tennis Tower, 118, commencing. State 814.
I believe this should be the point, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, you're
that's
right
about
there at position 3. You're good. You can go ahead and start descending to 800. You'll roll wings level. Once you get to 800 feet and you see that you're right abeam of the boat, as soon as you start seeing the back of the boat, you're going to make actually a right turn, and you're going to turn right 30 degrees heading away from the boat, and you're going to fly that until you get about 6 miles on the tack end, 5.5 to 6 miles on the tack end. Once you get there, then you're going to start a 30-degree left bank, and you're just going to maintain that until you reapproach BRC.
Yep.
When you start...
118, Tower, Roger. Contact paddles on the
As you guys are level at 800 here, you guys can actually put the hook down, and if you want to get up to 300 to 350 knots to get ready for your overhead brake.
If you're low on fuel, you can do 250 because that is max conserve for the Tomcat as well. But
Yeah.
I trust Marlowe on that 300 to 350 for a normal brake. That does make more sense for how fast you bleed speed in the Tomcat.
And
Okay.
Procedurally, in the Tomcat, you actually... it's easier if you put your wings all the way back to 68 degrees for when you're doing this overhead at 300 to 350. Because what'll happen is, as you trim out to maintain 800 with your wings back at that speed, it's actually setting your trim up to get you ready for when you go to landing config. Because obviously, less lift, you're going to have to apply more pitch up to maintain that same altitude, meaning you have higher AOA to maintain the same altitude. So now you guys can start your left turn and just get yourselves in line back on BRC.
So you're not in the brake quite yet. Right now you're turning for final.
Yeah, right now, yeah. You're lining yourself up for overhead.
In the brake is when
my
you
bad.
are after you
At the
pass
front.
boat.
At the front, right?
Yep, the front of the boat.
Yeah, you'll get about a mile out in front of the boat. Once you pass over it, and at that mile, then you'll call in the brake, or your nose number in the brake.
If you're contacting paddles, technically you don't even need to use your number anymore. Only unless there's multiple people in the pattern, which there really shouldn't be on a case one.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, exactly. What devs?
Although in theory there could be, but I'm
There
not
could
good
be.
enough fucking paddles to do that.
for what we're doing right now, you can. It's really up to you. You can call nose number, don't or not, but it is good practice.
Nose, my favorite number.
Yeah, you can start your call with your nose number, or you don't have to. I prefer doing it. It's just good practice.
It's good to start.
When you fly on other servers, there's usually going to be people in the either taking off, going in the bolter pattern, or people. There's going to be other people. My point. But what you guys should be trying to line up here is if you see the boat and you see the tack end when you're looking at your compass.
No, they're lined up pretty well. You're just gonna approach off the right side of the boat, which you guys are doing.
Sorry, I keep getting.
You're fine.
Yeah, you guys should be lining up so you should be basically almost on top of the boat, but not. You should be offset slightly to the starboard side of the boat.
Yep, they're perfect.
About a quarter, or sorry, about a half mile off to the starboard side of the boat. So you have enough room to actually look down off your left, and you should be able to look at the carrier deck and visually see that the flight deck is clear.
What he said.
So right now you guys actually look pretty good.
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay.
You guys are pretty good. Just line yourselves up on BRC 112, 113 about, somewhere in between there. 112, 113.
So I believe the next turn will be the break, correct?
That's correct.
Yep, you'll watch your tack end, wait for a mile, and then you're going to call in the break or 318 in the break. Doesn't matter. As soon as you brake, pilot, you're going to put your wings back in auto, and then once you get down past 250 knots, you can drop the gear. Once you get down past 230, 220, you can drop the flaps. So you guys should be braking.
Yeah,
Yep.
you guys are 3 miles.
118 in the break.
So I think on our, I don't know if I was here for the first session or not, or if it was LEP, but it seems like none of our pilots know how to fix the compass.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he taught that.
I don't think so. Out of
Yeah,
the 1 hour of lecturing he did before we did our cold start and never took off, we never learned how to align the compass because we never
Okay.
took off.
Yeah, you'll have to go over that with them all again. You should do that after they get this landing.
I'm actually gonna have to go as soon as we're done here. I'm already in a time crunch.
Oh, okay. I can finish this off if you like.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Yeah. I'll watch the landing. I'm curious. I got a little time.
Okay. You guys are at a good distance to the carrier right now. The turn looked hard to me, but you guys ended up fine, so I might be wrong. But you guys are about 1 mile to the port, which is where you want to be.
Yep. You're a little slow and pretty high. The pilot right now, you can either use, you can cheat and click the autopilot if you have a binding for it, or just manually trim to your, to match your E-brake and get on speed.
118 paddle.
You are a little tight to the boat, but that's alright.
Yep.
Okay, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and start your left turn and get lined up on the flight deck.
118, I have your gear down, hook down, wind is 5 knots starboard.
Alright, you should be descending down to, it should be 450, but since we do this a little further, I'll have you descend to try and get down to 600 feet.
Whoa,
at
whoa,
least.
whoa. Try to go for 450 and just kind of level out there at the end there. So you get
Yeah, yeah, if you maintain 450 and then just...
I don't think that's...
Yeah,
that was quite...
that is right, and the number
Okay.
is
We're going
450,
around.
but
You're
Turn around,
waving up.
okay.
Roger. Watch your sync rate.
I think the autopilot
um,
screwed me up there.
Oh,
It did. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. If just use the autopilot as an auto trim. So like when your wings level and you're just flying downwind on the boat and you're getting config, you can flip the autopilot on for a moment. But whenever you're executing turns or any kind of maneuver in this config, never use autopilot to make those turns. Your autopilot should be off unless you're using it to trim out, and then just turn it back off whenever you're done.
So when you're in the straightaway is what you wanted you to do there?
Yeah. Yeah, don't use the autopilot at all whenever you're actually maneuvering.
Since you guys are waving off, keep your gear down, keep your hook down, maintain 180 or below. Do the same pattern.
Should there be another call out? So whenever there's another attempt.
So you would have called out waving off, and then you do your in the brake beam, all those call outs again.
Yeah. For this, you can go straight into the bolter pattern.
I can't see anyone's main landing gears, only the nose landing gear. Or sometimes I can, but it's like glitchy, so that's interesting.
The landing gear?
Yeah, like your landing gear when you landed, you had no rear landing gear, so you just landed on the boat without. Although you did have it when you were out in the air, so I don't know.
Weird. Landing was so good it broke the game.
Correct.
Let's see if the trap log recorded.
Probably not. It's probably fucked up.
Yeah, I didn't get a trap log.
So yeah, you guys should have called in the brake, but that's honestly not a very important call.
My bad.
That's fine.
One more laser beam.
Why is my eye closed on?
Not bad data.
Oh, I was confused. Oh yeah, that was pretty good. Like I said, you were just a little off at the start, and you adjusted really fast. So.
Great. By a quarter mile, I was perfectly lined up.
Yep.
Time and groove is. I think the time and groove thing is bullshit. I think it's broken.
It probably is. Your time and groove is very short because you turned a beam.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna have to hop off here, take a shower, get ready to go. So it was nice flying with you guys.
Sure, I'll let you know how they land.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too, guys.
So you guys are pretty high for rolling out in groove here. You should be at 450, so watch that. And I think you guys are also you guys are not lined up. So remember, don't line up with the long part of the deck. You want to line up with the landing part of the deck. Use that laser system.
Radio check.
Oh shit. My SRS isn't working anymore because my pilot left. Keep that in mind. Right. Power. Right for the lineup. Right for the lineup. Little bit of power. Settle with the power. Right for the lineup. Wave off.
118 waving off.
There you go. So the reason I waved you off there is because you weren't lined up with the center line.
Yep.
And comfortably enough. So you guys were getting there, but I figured I'd play it safe since you guys have a ton of fuel and no one else is lined up.
Yeah.
So
something I'm realizing is I can't really see the laser, the green laser, or the, what do you call it?
the Okay, yeah, the laser lineup device. You can't see
I'm
that?
in VR, so it seems like it's really hard to see.
Yeah, it can be hard to see for some people. Some people see it clear as day, some people don't. I don't know if that's a graphic setting thing. I can't really help you there. One thing that you can do is, remember how I told you the BRC is 113? If you take 113 and subtract 9 from it, so 104, you can set that on your course select knob, or just memorize it. And when you're lined up for the runway, you should be heading 104. If your heading is 104 and you're lined up in that crook that I told you about, that little wedge shape at the front of the Tomcat, you should be theoretically at least close to the center line. And you're good enough, right? So I'll let you do that if you want.
Also, disclaimer.
You could also choose.
I've landed on the boat in the Hornet a few times, but I've never done it in the Tomcat, so.
Yep, that's fine. Your patterns are looking okay. You waved off on that first one, which is good, and the second one you were just to the left, so not a big issue. I will say this: you haven't crashed into the back of the boat, which is better than most.
118.
Most people will ignore my wave off and just crash.
May I recommend adding basically carrier pattern into the kneeboard set? I don't think there is one.
Yeah, some people add it. It's not in the normal kneeboard because it's really supposed to be you learn it. But yeah, I can send you a picture if you want that you can add in there manually. I'm not gonna add it to the normal kneeboard because, like I said, some people should be learning more. Anyways, you guys passed a beam a little while ago, so you know.
Yeah, I did call out a beam.
Yeah, I can't hear
I
you on
think.
SRS anymore. My pilot
Okay.
left, so I don't have a radio.
Ah, right, forgot. Well, I will basically call it on both then, on both radios.
Sure. You can just do it in Discord if you want, honestly. No one else is on frequency.
Fair enough.
Okay, you guys are at about 410 feet. You're a little low, but you guys are looking pretty good. 375 is like the lowest you want to get, which you guys are about out, so that's fine. So remember to try to roll out on 104. And I'll give you some guidance early. I'm only supposed to do it at 3/4 of a mile, but I'll help you out a bit early for you once you get straightened out. Rio, make sure you're watching his speed, because I can't actually tell his speed. Okay, come left a little bit, power. Come left. Power. You're approaching the center line. You're on the center line.
We should be at
to the lineup. Settle with the power, settle with the power. Bit right for lineup. Bit right for lineup. Bit right for lineup.
I'm waving off that I lost the ball.
Roger. Okay, Roger. Yeah, so when I said you're on the center line, you kept drifting, so you guys were off to the left a bit too much, and
Just to confirm, the speed that we should be on is 150, correct?
you should land at about 130. 150 is about your approach speed, yeah.
Okay.
This thing really does handle like a giant turkey.
It's beautiful once you get used to it. You know about the burble, don't you?
I know what it is. I don't really.
118.
I'm not used to feeling it or anything.
118 in the break.
You should still feel it on the 18. It's just that you don't really change anything. You just have to. You should know what it is. So as long as you know what it is.
One thing that comes to mind is direct lift control. It is something that you have to get used to.
Yeah. I honestly don't know anything about that. I'm not a pilot. Yeah, don't worry about that pilot shit. As Jester would say, let me get out the keyboard. Come on now, do some of that pilot shit! There you go.
118 beam.
Paddles, Roger. You guys should be starting your turn right about now. If you guys want to go for a long final, that's fine. Keep in mind that if there's a lot of traffic going on, they like if you're in a milsim group, they can be pretty anal about how long your groove is, because it does slow everything down. But obviously we're not worried about that right now. It's just if you want to join a milsim group, you may want to get some extra practice.
I'm starting to feel the fuel dump was unnecessary.
Oh, well, there you go. How much fuel are you guys at? You should still be fine.
5.9.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's like a standard landing fuel. Usually you might have a missile or two, so you'd be landing at that. Okay, so you guys definitely aren't lined up yet, so right for the lineup quite a bit.
We are at speed, by the way.
You guys are approaching the center line. Still come a bit right for the lineup. A little bit of power. And normally I'd have you call the ball here, but I'm not going to do that to not complicate things. Right for the lineup a little bit.
Tomcat ball.
Roger. Settle with the power. A little bit right for the lineup. Power. Right for the lineup. Okay. Three wire, you guys skipped over the one wire. So congrats. You guys
Thank
were
you.
a little bit low at the end there, but you guys still made it. Good landing. Be careful with your power adjustments. It's very, very sensitive. So when I said a little bit of power, you guys came up pretty high. And when I said settle with the power, you guys descended a bit more than you should have. So
I'm finding out that it's very sensitive, so that's just going to be a feel thing.
Yeah, it's just going to be practice. Like I said, that was a great first landing. Most people are in the back of the boat instead, so good job.
Just a question. Did you use basically throttle control or DLC?
I used throttle and a little bit of DLC right at the end there.
Okay. Just curious.
If you guys could see how much my hands were shaking right now, you'd probably laugh.
No, it's tense. I bet you're sweaty. That's okay.
Well, believe me, you had much better first F-14 landing than I did on a carrier, given I lost my wheels.
There you go. Yep. So go ahead and taxi off to the area to the right there. That's where you'd normally taxi. You don't need clearance to taxi over there. Once you land, you taxi immediately. Get off the landing area. Good job. So, that's it for case 1, carrier procedures. There's another thing called case 2. It's pretty weird. It's like a mixture of case 3 and case 1. If you guys are interested in that, I recommend you look into it on your own time, because we are not going to be teaching it to you, because it is almost never used. It really doesn't have a specific case where it's better than a case 1 or better than a case 3 for their applicable duties. So we're not going to teach it to you, because like I said, 99 times out of 100, the squadron isn't even going to have case 2 on their roster. They're not even going to consider using it. So, when they do consider using it, that one time out of 100, it's going to be like probably a 1 in 4, 1 in 5 chance they even do it on any given landing, right? So, you can do the math there. That's like 1 in 500 is the odds that you'd have to ever do a case 2 if you join a milsim squadron. So, yeah. Case 3s we will be going over on the last week of the course, after we do all of that beautiful stuff. Next week, Mr. RIO will be doing radar stuff. If you want to read up some homework on the radar, you can have a look at the Matrix, and there's some great videos there. One of them's like an hour and a half long. You don't have to watch that one by any means. It's just very interesting if you're interested.
That 3-wire was more
to get
beautiful
kind
than
of
Meg
an
Ryan.
idea of how the radar actually functions. Mr. Pilot, you guys are going to be practicing some formation flying and air-to-air refueling. Should be a pretty short lesson. Air-to-air refueling,
Ready
as
to
you probably
start.
noticed, is a big pain in the Tomcat. You have to be very gentle with your throttle, very gentle with your stick, even more so than landing. So we're not going to fail you and not have you graduate if you can't AAR on this 4th day of training. We're just going to show you the concept of it and try to get you some practice so that you can do better formation in the future. You guys have any questions for me?
Nope, I'm good.